All right, Reggie. We're back with part two. We have James and his sister Sandra on the line. I wanted to talk to you, James, a little bit about in Timmy's interview. He mentioned numerous times that all he wanted to do was to have you apologize, and then he had a hug for you. Do you think he's sincere when he says that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Do I want to call Timmy an opportunist or a fucking joke? No, I don't think he was sincere. I have been in my auntie's funeral. Timmy was there. We never said a word to each other. We walked past each other like he was somebody that knew my auntie, or I was somebody that knew my auntie. My mother's funeral, our family reunion, he did hug my sister and said he had this dream, and he hugged my sister, but went right back to not talking to her again. Never did I hear that Timmy wanted for me to apologize to him. My question would have been, for what? I ain't did shit to you. What would I have? Why would I apologize? I never had a reason. The only thing I can say about that is, Red Bombers, anybody, after this interview, I hope that Timmy don't try to cash in on that dream. We gonna have a problem. I can never deal with Timmy again. Timmy don't have to worry about making it right or fulfilling his dream or whatever the case might be. But if you can get on any platform, if you can, it's been too long, and I'm tired of it. And I've been living. My mother been gone almost 6 years, and I had no reason to holler at Timmy. But one time, I heard something was going on in the neighborhood with Timmy. I put my shit in the car, and that's the only time I went to Congress. Okay. On his behalf. I wish a motherfucker would.
Okay, let's let Sandra talk a little bit. You got some questions you want us to lead in, and I'll let you lead into it, James, to what you had to ask on your sister, and just the letter and interjecting like we saying over here at Bomb First. We're not like that other channel trying to create problems, because I never heard him ask as many questions as he asked in an interview. He asked at least 10 times. And so I guess he wanted to finally start living up to the name of his channel of Art to Dialogue, or Art of Dialogue, I guess. But y'all know I say the name wrong on purpose, because he never did any dialogue until then. But we'll let you, James, go ahead and ask the question, or lead the conversation between you and your sister, and just to address things. And like I said, once again, this is not no attack towards Timmy. It's just trying to get things clarified, because Timmy elected for this to go on YouTube world, and so they wanted this to respond in the YouTube world.
Right. Yeah. And the only thing I want people to understand, I'm not gonna bash him. I'm not gonna go at or attack who Timmy is, his relationship with his girls, his children. I love my nieces and nephews, and they would never hear Uncle James speaking bad on that guy. Not to the world. Not to the world. I have talked shit inside the house and fuck you upside down. But that's between us. So I talked to my sister, because she didn't hear it. So when everybody started calling her with it, it was this and that. So nobody can explain it more, because Zonda was more in contact with Laylaw. Zonda was at court with him from the beginning, meaning Timmy. And she said in that room, when I testified, when my nephew testified, she done told me some hilarious shit about my nephew Doodoo, that they never said how he reacted to certain individuals, to the DA and whoever. Duty was a little woody, pretty much. So I wanted my sister to come on here to just be honest and just tell the truth about what happened, because we saw something totally different than Timmy. My nieces was at court, Reg, and I just want to say, my mother wouldn't have fucked with me, knowing her situation. My sisters would not have fucked with me. My nieces wouldn't fuck with me if I did my brother like that. And I never had that.
And let me interrupt and just say this: Reggie Wright would have done the same thing that Timmy did, probably, if the allegations is true that was made. But that is not why we're here defending or talking about it, because I would have did that to my son as well. Maybe not to the extreme, because I don't know the extreme, but I would have disciplined my son that as well. So I don't fault Timmy Rue for doing what he did.
Hold up. I'm not going to give no credit where it should be. Ass whooping is one thing.
Yeah.
To what level or degree?
I agree. I don't know that. Yeah.
It was to the extreme. He's sitting on here talking about our whooping because he touched the girl. I'm not going to speak on how many times he got an ass whooping. I'm not going to speak to what degree. This one particular ass whooping wasn't a regular ass whooping. When I seen my nephew, I cried. I felt for him.
Okay.
I felt for him.
And once again, we're talking about a 12, 13-year-old young boy that obviously did something wrong. But I understand your point too. There's a degree of how you take it and escalate that discipline. Yeah.
Yeah, I have disciplined my kids. And I don't want to just jump from one thing to another.
I got you.
Go back.
I just had to put that out there. Okay.
So I want my sister to speak on what happened at court, particularly when I duty testified and when I got on the stand.
Correct.
Black girl.
Yes. I can, and I want to say this before I say anything else. I think that my mother is turning over in her grave.
Yeah. Because
this is not how we was raised. This is not what she taught us, and it's sad. However, that case was lost truly before it even got started, because the DA forced Duty to testify. He told her, I'm not testifying. She told him, you are, because I'm going to make you. And that was the worst mistake of her career, because he made her look like a total fool. He stole his daddy's freedom to the jurors. When Tremaine was finished testifying, Timmy was already not guilty on all charges, all levels. He made the detective and the DA look stupid. He repeated things that they said to him that made the jurors believe everything that came out of his mouth. Timmy was actually free. After James got on the stand, she really shouldn't have done that either. She shouldn't have let James get on, because she asked James questions, then she tried to shut James down.
Okay.
The judge stepped in and said, no, let him talk. I want to hear what he has to say. So in the process, she made a comment to James, and James was speaking, and then she said, well, yeah, I understand all of that. And then James said, no, you don't understand, because if you did, we wouldn't be here. And then again, the jurors applauded James. That never happened in court. They all clapped for him. she said that, and she tried to get James off the stand.
Was Timmy present
judge
when all of that was said and done?
Yes.
Yes. But he don't want to repeat that.
This was verbatim, this lady and James and the judge. The judge said, no, I want to hear what he has to say. And the judge let him speak. And then her third mistake, she let my mother speak. She was combative with my mother, and my mother was her witness. But anybody that know my mother knows my mother's loyalty is to her children.
Her sons and her daughters.
No matter what.
Yes. And
that's what she taught us, and that's how we was raised, to have loyalty to one another. But
What did Laylaw say? Am I pronouncing the name right?
I can't hear you.
What is the story Laylaw?
You said, what did Ludlow say about what?
After the case was over,
He said, he told me that, he did tell me that you did a great job, and if it wasn't for James, Timmy would at least have been guilty of something. Not all the charges, but something. But Duty played a major part in that too.
Right.
Because Duty called the DA a liar. He called the detective a liar. The DA asked Duty, didn't you say that your dad did X, Y, and Z? And Duty said, no, I didn't tell you that. Y'all said that. He said, you told me if I don't say what you wanted me to say, you was going to age me out in the system. Duty don't know anything about aging out in the system. So that had to come from them.
Right.
It had to come from them. And he put their stuff right back on them. Everything that they told him, he threw it right back in his face, and he was very believable. He was very believable. You know, the judge had to basically tell him, don't disrespect the DA. Don't disrespect the detective. Well, they lying. They telling lies, you know. And when she asked him the question about why did he get a whooping, he told him, because I hit a girl. And then she said, you hit her? He said, no, I socked her. And then the jurors like, wow. And then when it came to another girl, he said he touched the girl on the private. So they had already made up their mind whether Timmy was guilty or not. They had made up their mind.
Right.
So at the end of the day, the case was a bust from the beginning, because she put people on the stand that she shouldn't have never trusted to go against family.
Yeah.
Right.
So in yours,
she trusted them to go against Timmy, and that didn't happen.
Exactly. So in your mind, James helped Timmy. He didn't hurt Timmy, from what you observed.
No, he helped him.
Yes.
It was never the intention to ever hurt him anyway.
Okay. And that's all I'm here to try to point out, that James wasn't out there trying to hurt his brother, and James didn't call the police on his brother. That's what people seem to want to paint this picture about James and make James out to be the bad guy, because they want to see how can he call the police on his brother no matter what. Well, there's situations where sometimes you got to call the police on family members, but James didn't do it in this situation. It's all.
She said.
That's all I'm trying to prove here.
When she had the detective on the stand, the question was asked, who made the call? She said the nurse made the call.
Exactly.
The school nurse made the call. And they asked the question, why did they wait so late to get Tremaine? And the nurse said, that the nurse said that she was afraid that, because Duty never said that his dad did anything to him, but she said that the scar that he had on, he wanted some cream for his arm. And the nurse was afraid that it could have been child support.
Oh, they have to. They have to report it. Yes, they have to report it.
Yeah, that. So she felt that she should just report it anyway.
Correct.
Child abuse.
Correct. They have to.
So she felt that she needed to call anyway.
Yes.
That's how it happened. It never came from James or anybody else. It came from the school.
The school nurse.
The school nurse. The question was asked from the DA. The question was asked from Timmy's lawyer. It did not come from James. It came from the school.
Enough said. And I really appreciate you coming on and explaining that, because people don't like to hear from Reggie or James about it. We're hearing it and we're bringing it from y'all from a third person that was there that has love for Timmy. If you don't know, this has bothered these two all week, and it was hard to even get them to address this, but they understand that this needs to be touched on, because for some reason it was elected to be played out on the internet recently, and that's why, and the only reason that we elected to bring James and Timmy's sister involved in this is just for you guys to see the truth. And I appreciate you doing that and using our platform to do that. Yes.
It's sad because it's our family business should not be on a platform. It should not be out here like this. Yeah. And at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. And like I said, I know my mother is turning over in her grave. I hurt for my mother because I know my mother didn't raise any of us to be hurtful to one another. Regardless of the chivalry and the little spats we may have here and there, it should never have been on a platform, period.
Yeah. What do you think about Timmy's offer for apology? I even heard him say if James reimbursed him his law fees, he will forgive him. Do you think Timmy is being sincere with that, or is it you think he just? Well,
I know that the hug.
Yeah.
That my mom told him to give James.
Yes.
That was sincere because I received my hug.
Okay.
He told me that my mama told me to give you a hug and give James a hug. So way before this situation happened, he told me that. So I believe that was sincere and that was true.
Okay.
And then all this other stuff, all I can hope and pray is that God moves in this family, because the devil has been attacking us ever since Buntry died.
Yes.
Ever since Buntry died, as people die, families supposed to get closer. And at the end of the day, that hasn't happened for our family. The devil has had his 2 feet in ever since Buntry's death. So I just pray that, I don't know, we need some peace. Our family needs some peace. The blood, the bleeding needs to stop. If there's there's love, if it's true love, like we grew up with, it still be true love. Period.
We're going to end it there. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.